and we are in the Question Tequila studios. We're having some technical difficulties. Hopefully we will get Martha Boneta and Jeff Webb from the New American Populist. They are down at the border, and we're trying to get some of our friends and regular guests on the show to give us a report on what's really happening down at the border. Hopefully they'll join us shortly. But Frank, while we wait to get that connection, Chris Cuomo, I want to keep this story going because he humiliated himself terribly. I know our good friend Charlie Gasparino and your buddy Joe Piscopo feel like people shouldn't go up to these celebrities. I
agree with that.
When they're out. I'm with you. But you're in the limelight. You're in the public eye. You give a lot of opinions that go to the masses. And once in a while, you know, you're going to get a jerk who's going to want to say something. As long as he doesn't physically come near you or invade your space, I think you should have a little thicker skin.
Yeah, if people don't know what we're talking about, this has to do with Chris Cuomo flying off like a lunatic, flying off the handle like a lunatic when somebody referred to him as Fredo, which is it's a character from The Godfather, and not necessarily the character that you want to be compared to, especially if you're consistently overshadowed by your brother and your father. And so he went into this rage, used the F word about 24 times, compared it to being called the N-word, said it was a similar slur for Italian Americans, and he was actually on CNN last night talking about this. Here was Fredo Cuomo.
There is nothing to add except to say thank you. Thank you to all who reached out in person, who sent messages. I appreciate it. That includes Mr. Hannity and Ms. Maddow. They acted as colleagues, not competitors, and I won't forget it. In fact, I'm not going to forget, and I will use all of the feedback. Because the key is for us to all be better, and that starts with me.
Inside joke, like, you know, but it's not a racial slur to be compared to a fictional character who's white.
Yeah, we're going to have to revisit this a little later.
Yeah. I want to talk about this more, but joining us, hang on for 1 minute. Now, my audio isn't working. We have Martha Boneta and Jeff Webb from the border. Let's see if we can, if I can connect to them. Martha, Jeff, are you guys there?
Yeah, we sure are.
Okay, all right, great. Martha Boneta, she's a frequent contributor here on Liquid Lunch, as well as Jeff Webb. Jeff was the founder of Varsity Brands, and he's also the founder of the New American Populist, with a mission to turn around 31 congressional seats that were won by Trump in the presidential, but lost in Congress in the midterms. And my friends, you're down at the border, and we're hearing all these accounts of kids in cages and parental separations. Give us a sense of what you guys see happening down there at the border.
Hey, John. Hey, good to be with you. You know, the fact of the matter, we're just getting started with our trip today, and we have an appointment to see many of these facilities. We'll be in a lot better position tomorrow, the next day, to give you kind of our impression of what there is. You know, what we're expecting, of course, is you got obviously people who want to be here. And your heart goes out to many of these people, kind of what they've gone through and what their trek has been. But then the other thing that we're interested in seeing here is the effect that this kind of this big illegal immigration push is having on American communities on this side of the border, and the potential strain that it's putting on our infrastructure, whether it's schools, garbage collection, all kinds of different services, what kind of strain is going on there and how it's being dealt with. So it's going to be an interesting couple of days.
So you guys are just boots on the ground today. You haven't visited any facilities yet. Hopefully we'll get you guys to report back on some of the real conditions that are happening there. Where are you intending on going to check out, you know, all the effects of this immigration stuff?
All right, John, you cut out a little bit. Can you say that one more time, please?
Yeah, where are you guys? What's the plan for you guys? Where are you planning on visiting down there while you're at the border?
Well, unfortunately, we're in a position where we have a confidentiality arrangement about the specifics on that. But again, we'll be seeing various facilities and just the border in general, and how it's being administered and how we're trying to manage it. So it's going to be pretty comprehensive.
So is this confidentiality agreement you have extend past your visit? Will you be able to give us some insights on what your observations were, or is this a completely clandestine trip?
No, we'll definitely be able to give you our impressions when things are finished, and we'll look forward to really reporting to you at that point.
Okay, Frankie, Martha and Jeff are down there. They haven't hit the detention centers yet. They can't disclose where they're going, but they're going to report back. I know you had a couple questions.
No, I'd be very curious to know what the mood of the Border Patrol is like, and any other law enforcement officials down there. I mean, there's been a lot of reports that, given the number of migrants that are coming across the border, that there are just too few Border Patrol agents and immigration judges, and our resources might be overtaxed in that respect. And I'm just curious if either Martha or Jeff has had an opportunity to observe if that's the case.
We haven't at this point, Frank. We expect, again, over the next 48 hours to really get a good look at about everything here. And I think your point about the kind of the mood and morale of the Border Patrol is something we'll be taking a look at.
Very good. I want to thank you guys for taking a little time for us today, giving us the early update, and hopefully we can check back with you a little later in the week from your observation of what you saw out there. Martha Boneta, chairman of Vote America First, and Jeff Webb, president of the New American Populist, via Skype from a Texas border town to be named later. But guys, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll check back in with you later in the week. So thank you guys. Frankie, it's a tight trip. They don't have a lot of information for us now, but the one thing we do know is we got some real people with boots on the ground, and we'll be bringing you all of the stuff they can see and observe. And we're going to take a quick break, and our good friend is back. Kate Herman is here to fake us out with some tweets right after this.